Welcome to today's episode of SpitteN-Pickz, where I'll be giving you my best picks and what I think the smartest plays for tonight's Monday night slate is. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. First, we have Vegas going to Columbus. Vegas with a 33-21-5-2 record on the road, 14-12-3. Facing off against the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are 20-30-9 with a home record of 10-16. On the puck line, Columbus is just 15-15, and on the puck line, Vegas is 28-33. So neither team really stands out on the puck line, but big news for Vegas tonight, getting back Jack Eichel, and I expect him to really make a big impact in his debut game back from his injury. He's missed almost 2.5 months of hockey, and I think he'll make a pretty big impact in his first night back. Vegas is 3-6-0-1 in their last 10. Columbus is 4-6-0-0 in their last 10. But still, the Columbus Blue Jackets have not strung together back-to-back wins. Back-to-back wins since the month of November. So I do like Vegas on the money line. The problem is they are -200. Sportsline has them at -197. And the projected score on Sportsline is actually 3.6 for Vegas. Columbus 2.6, and there's a 61% spread probability that Columbus Blue Jackets cover the +1.5, and the money line at -197. The money line set at 197 would translate into a 66.3% chance of the Golden Knights covering it, when in reality, they actually have a 67% chance on covering it, and the true line should be more around -180. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take Jack Eichel for 2 points and either William Karlsson or Jonathan Marchessault, and I'm going to wrap them up into a same-game parlay. And then I'm also going to take either Marchessault or Karlsson and put them with the Vegas Knights in a same-game parlay. One or the other. Not going to take all these things and throw them into one 5-leg parlay. But what I am looking to do is take Karlsson or Marchessault and put them with the Vegas Knights to bring that money line down to instead of a -190, -200. If you add Karlsson or Marchessault, you'll get a +120 or a +130. And if you take Jack Eichel with the 2 points, it should be somewhere in the range of +165. Marchessault and Karlsson have both in the last 5 games combined for a point each. I always like taking those top line player point combinations. So if you got Marchessault and Karlsson on the first line, you're hoping they connect for a goal, and one of them gets an assist, one of them gets in a goal, or one of them gets a secondary assist to a goal scorer. That's my philosophy when I do something like a player and a team same game parlay, just so we're on the same page. All right, our next matchup is Florida going into the Garden, visiting the New York Rangers, where the Florida Panthers are 41-16-3-1, and the Rangers are 40-17-1-3 with a home record of 21-7-0-0. Although Florida's road record is 21-8-1-1, and they are on the puck line 21-10, On the puck line, the Rangers are 13-15 at home. In their last 10, they are 8-1-0, while the Rangers 4-6 to the under, and the Panthers are 9-1-0-0 in their last 10, and that leads to the under also, 3-7-0 to the under. So I really have a hard time picking a matchup in this game as far as a money line pick. But what I do like is the under in this game. I expect it to be played like a playoff matchup. I expect it to be played tight to the vest and a hard-hitting, gritty, playoff-style hockey match. Although I do lead to the home team, who is also the underdog at plus 110, and the New York Rangers, who did lose the other night to Toronto in a shootout. I like New York here. If I had to pick a team, I like New York to bounce back in the Garden and take the Florida Panthers, who did defeat them 4-3 in their last matchup. On to the next one. St. Louis going to Philadelphia. St. Louis is 31-26, 2-1, and on the road they're just 13-15, 1-1. They're going into Philly, who's 16-13, 1-1 at home, and their overall record is 32-23, 5-2. Philadelphia is 40-22 on the puck line and 16-16 on the puck line at home, whereas St. Louis is just 33-27 to the puck line, and in their last 10, they're 4-5-1-0, and Philadelphia is 5-4-1-0. So pretty similar last 10. I do think Philadelphia is the tougher, scrappier team here. I do think Philadelphia has the home ice advantage. I don't think St. Louis has looked as strong as they looked after the All-Star break. I think they're finally slowing down against a Philadelphia team who sees lots of promise and hopes of making the playoffs. I'm going to lead Philadelphia money line, and I also love the Owen Tippett for a point. He's connected for a point 9 out of his last 10, and I like Owen Tippett and the Philadelphia Flyers for a same-game parlay at plus 125. Tippett has typically had a point in all the Philadelphia Flyers home wins, and even has caught a point in a lot of their losses. So I see Philadelphia pulling this out, and I also see Tippett tallying another point. So therefore, it's Philadelphia on the money line and Owen Tippett and Philadelphia in a same-game parlay. Now we head to Boston going into the Toronto Maple Leafs. And, well, Boston has struggled in their last 10, 3-2, 3-2. 3 overtime losses, 2 overtime wins. They are below 500. They are only 3 wins in regulation in their last 10, where Toronto is 9-1, 0-0, and unfortunately they do not have a great puck line home record at just 8-22. They are 17-11, 2-0 at home. So I do lean Toronto here on the money line, but I like Boston on the puck line, getting the puck and a half. So in this game, if I had to pick this is another game like the Rangers in Florida, where there's 2 top team contenders, both probably playoff bound, both with superstar talent. Both have the ability to win this game. It's just a matter of who's going to show up and who's going to be the more effective team for the night. So I'm going to go with Toronto staying hot and Boston staying cold. But other than that, I really can't see a different edge, see an edge where I'd say I feel real strongly about jumping on Toronto. Going to our next matchup, Chicago Blackhawks going into Colorado. Colorado is boasting a 23-6-0-0 home record, and on the puck line, they are 18-11 at home. They are overall on the puck line 30-32. In their last 10, they are 5-4-1 overtime loss. They are 3-6-1 to the under, and the Chicago Blackhawks, well, they're 1-6-3-0 in their last 10, so they were just able to get one win in 10 games. With Bedard being back, there were a couple things that stood out to me in this game, which was the point prop for the under on Nick Foligno and the under on Tyler Johnson. Neither one of them have gotten more than 1 point in the last 10 games, and I expect neither one of them on the third line should see more than 12 minutes of ice time throughout the entire match. So to get that minus 400 puck line down, what I want to do is take either Nick Foligno and Tyler Johnson for to have no points, and parlay that with Colorado in a same game parlay. And I also like Colorado minus 1.5. I don't like it at minus 2.5, but at minus 130, minus the puck and a half, I think Colorado covers that puck line at home. I also wouldn't mind a sprinkle on McKinnon over 1.5 points, and Colorado, which would give you plus 125 money. I expect McKinnon to have a big night tonight, an assist and a goal, 2 assists and a goal and 2 assists. I expect him to have multiple points in a matchup against this weak Chicago Blackhawks team. And it's a way to get that big minus 410 number down. And our last matchup is the Seattle Kraken going to Calgary, where Calgary has been kind of hot of late, going 7-3-0-0. They are only 14-16 against the puck line. Their overall home record is 16-13-0-1. And they're facing an opponent who's only 500 in their last 10, going 5-4-1-0. On the puck line, they are 35-25, one of the better teams on the puck line. And their overall record is 26-23-7-4. The Kraken have been one of those teams where they start playing real well, you start seeing it come together for them, and then they lose 2 or 3 in a row against teams they should win. They are one of those teams that seem to put it together again in big matchups. They're both in a position where they're scrapping for a playoff position. I just think the Flames have the hotter team right now. I think they're playing the better hockey. I think they have the home ice advantage, and I think I would go with Calgary minus 130. I'd have to go with the home team and the hot team with the Calgary Flames. So just to go over real quick some of the matchups we talked about. I'm going to go down the list. I gave you my feels on it, and I'm going to give you Sportsline's projected outcomes on it. And then later on, I'll get back to you and give you my favorite picks on the night. I like to give you the breakdown of all the games and which way I'm leaning earlier than before I give you guys my exact picks, and I get to see the line combinations and so forth, so on and so forth. So Vegas and Columbus. Vegas, they have a projected score of 3.6 to 2.6, and the model simulation probability of 67% is slightly different from the consensus odds implied of 66%. So the odds imply a 66% simulation, and according to Sportsline, Vegas covers this a couple percent more of the time than the actual line on the game. As far as Florida Rangers, well, just like I predicted, it's a close one. It's Florida 3.3 to the Rangers 3.1. So they got a 3-3 game projected. The Rangers cover the plus 1.5 71% of the time. And the Panthers win this game, according to the simulation, 54% of the time. On to the next one, where we got St. Louis and the Philadelphia Flyers. According to the projection, it's 3.2 to Philadelphia to 2.7 on the St. Louis Blues. Again, it's like a 3-3 game or a 3.5 goal to 2.5 goal game. The Blues do cover the puck and a half 67% of the time. The Flyers do win this game 59.9% of the time. So that's the simulation of average. They simulate these games 10,000 times, and these are the projected numbers they come up with. The Boston Bruins 3.4, where the Maple Leafs have a 3.7. So again, a tied game, 3.7 to 3.4. Bruins cover the puck and a half 69% of the time, where the Maple Leafs in the simulation cover this 56.7%. Then we go to the Chicago Blackhawks visiting Colorado. The Chicago Blackhawks got a projected score of 1.9. The Colorado Avalanche of 3.8. So basically a 4-2 game. Although, even though the projected score is 4-2, they say the Blackhawks should cover this 62% of the time. And the consensus implied is only 41% of the time. So they're saying the smart money is on the puck and getting the puck and a half from the Blackhawks. And the Avalanche with a minus 445 spread. That's a consensus implied of 81%. And the Avalanche actually cover and win this game on the money line 84% of the time. So if you're one of those big ballers that want to lay 400 to win 100, you got 85% chance. That's not me, though. I look for ways to find my angles, pick my spots, and drive that price down as low as possible with keeping my win percentage as high as possible. The last game that I'll be looking at Sportsline is Seattle Kraken, projected score of 2.6, and the Calgary Flames at 3.1. So 3 to 2.5. The Calgary Flames do edge this one out just by a little bit. The Kraken cover the puck and a half by 69%. The Flames win on the money line 59%. And the consensus implied is only 55%. So you're actually getting value if you can get the Calgary Flames at minus 130 or minus 125. That's implying only a 55% chance of winning when their probability is actually 60%. So I'm happy that Sportsline model agrees with my Calgary pick. And I actually can't believe how close some of these projected scores are to how close my own handicapping and my own methods of breaking down these games was. As always, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully this information helps you on picking what you think are the best picks, and maybe you'll check back in and see what my best picks are, and maybe we could all win some money together. If you like this type of content and you're interested in seeing more of it, please like, subscribe, come back, watch these videos. Come back and check for my actual plays for the night later, which I will be getting out as soon as I get those line combinations out to you guys. I try to give you guys the best breakdown with all the tools and information out there from covers, Sportsline, Daily Faceoff, and other stat websites like StatMuse and NHL ESPN. But sometimes it's real hard finding an edge in these games. So just real quick, we're going to go Rangers plus the puck and a half And the under 6.5 in that game, we like Toronto minus 135. We like Philly minus 140. We like the Avs minus the 1.5. We like Calgary minus 130. And we like the Vegas Knights minus the 200. Check back later for my plays for the night. Again, thank you for everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe. Have a great night.